Scientists have found that music stimulates more parts of the brain than any other human function. That's why there's so much potential in music's power to change the brain. However, not only has music helped shape my brain, it has significantly shaped my life and who I am today. Let me start at the beginning. When I was 3, my parents would take me on Saturday mornings to watch the San Angelo Symphony rehearse for their Saturday night performances. I don't remember going to these rehearsals, however, they've had a huge impact on my life. That year, I asked Santa for a violin, and he came through big time. He brought me a violin that looked maybe a little something like this. Okay, exactly like this. This is my first violin. Fun fact, it's actually smaller than my foot, and it is functional. So, anyways, I knew that just having a violin was not going to cut it, so I told my parents that I needed lessons so I could learn how to play it. And I did not realize it then, but in that moment, I made a commitment that has lasted almost 15 years. In those 15 years, I cannot tell you how many opportunities I've had to quit playing. When we moved to Midland, when I was 7, and I had to find a new violin teacher named Mr. Johnson. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not the same Daryl Johnson that we all know and love. Anyways, after several years of being taught under violin Mr. Johnson, he vanished, and I mean off the face of the earth. He didn't respond to texts, calls, and when my mom and I would show up at his apartment every week for my violin lessons, he wouldn't be there, so we finally stopped showing up. A little bit of a sidebar. I actually saw the violin Mr. Johnson at a soup kitchen I was serving at several years ago. No, not eating, but he was serving with his church, so he's fine now. He's left me. But anyways, that brings me to my current teacher, Miss Eliza Bowcut. I met her 10 years ago, and I just want to say thank you so much for being an inspiration to me and always encouraging me to keep playing the violin, but also use my musical gifts and my God-given talent for whatever it may be, whether it is participating in school musicals, leading worship in chapel, or playing in school concerts, assemblies, and fundraisers. And as most of you know, Trinity is not the easiest of schools academically. So playing my violin, along with completing my schoolwork and playing several sports, has left me with little free time over the years, free times that I hopefully would have been able to spend getting to know each of you. But I agree with John Denver, who said music does bring people together. It allows us to experience the same emotions. People everywhere are the same in heart and spirit, no matter what language we speak, what color we are, the form of politics, or the expression of love and our faith. Music proves we are the same. In that way, music has brought us together. If it hadn't been for my violin, I honestly don't think I would know most of you. When I moved to Midland, I began first grade at Midland Christian. I enjoyed myself there, but when 4th grade rolled around, I asked their old band director if I could play my violin in the band the next year, since there wasn't an orchestra. And let's just say, he was not a big fan of that idea. So that year, several other things happened that made me start to realize that maybe a different learning environment would be better for me personally. So I decided to visit Trinity, and long story short, I loved the people, loved the atmosphere, and most importantly, I got to meet with Mr. S about me playing the violin in the band. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone as excited for anything as Mr. S was for me to play the violin in the band this year. So that sold me, and now here I am with you guys. I've loved my time at Trinity and loved my ability to share my God-given talent for music with you. So I'll leave you with Colossians 3:16. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. I'm not sure what's next in store for my relationship with my violin, but I will definitely keep playing and be musically involved in my new college community. Everyone has or will have that one thing that they are passionate about and that drives them, and roadblocks will present themselves, but there's always a way around them. My challenge to you is don't let the adversity that life throws at you keep you from doing what you love. Thank you.